Hey everyone, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another one of my top 10 singers slash vocalists list. This is going to be a top 10-ish one because if you can count, you're going to see more than 10 names on this list because I just couldn't limit myself to 10. Sorry. So, let's go ahead and kind of get right into this. I'm going to be doing metal singers this time. I previously did completely non-metal singers, then I did metal or not singers. No doubt that every single one of these singers slash vocalists is going to be in a metal band. No real debate on that subject. So let's get into it. Number 10 is a 7-way tie. I promise not all of them are this convoluted. These are all of my favorite death metal singers. So let's go ahead and cover these one by one. And by the way I name these guys is just basically the order I pulled them off my shelf. It doesn't necessarily mean like they're, I think one is better than the other, right? So let's get that out of the way. Basically, each tier, all the guys are more or less tied in it, right? So anyway, my first death metal vocalist I'm going to talk about is Jeff Walker of Carcass. I really like the raspy kind of ripping type of vocals that he does. Awesome stuff and has had a huge impact on a lot of extreme bands, and I think they do it extremely well. So Carcass is one of them. Next up is a huge originator of the death metal style, and he's had an absolute incredible impact on the sound of the genre as a whole. I mean, this band is kind of it might be the most influential death metal band. I am talking about Chuck Schuldiner of Death. Just the many different styles he does. He does a fantastic job with all of them, and absolutely great. So there you go. Moving on to my next tie. We got Johan Haig of Amarth. And that guy definitely can throw some melody behind his voice along with the death metal stuff. So, and I think his voice is a perfect blending with the musical compositions of Amarth. So, moving on, we got Dave Vincent of Morbid Angel. And of course, like every band on Earth has copied him, it seems like. Or at least every death metal band. So there you go. Wow. What can I say about Dave Vincent? He's awesome. That is if you like death metal. If you don't, you may not like him too much. My next one is Anders Frieden. I have to have some of these names up on my screen because I'm never going to pronounce them right without reading them. Anders Frieden, I might even have that wrong, of In Flames. Despite what's happened to In Flames in recent years, they're much more commercial and, let's face it, lamer direction. On those earlier albums, the guy was an absolute beast and really just took it over the moon for them, right? So there you go. And let me just say, I'm sorry. Yeah. I guess it's a 6-way tie, not a 7-way tie, whatever. We've got, last one is Thomas Lindberg or Thomas Lindberg, depending on if you want to use the Americanized pronunciation or not, of At the Gates. Again, another giant of the genre that has influenced countless other bands. So there you go. They defined the Gothenburg sound. So that is my number 10 spot. Yeah, I know that was totally fair. So now in my number 9 spot are going to be my my favorite power metal vocalists, right? It's really hard for me to pick a favorite amongst these. That's why there's ties. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Kai Hansen of both Gamma Ray, and of course Helloween. Helloween has had several singers, and frankly, I think they're all great. Gamma Ray has a new singer, but they haven't released an album with the new singer yet, so I have no idea what it's going to sound like. But Kai, I think, did a fantastic job with both bands, and I think Helloween has done a fantastic job with all of their vocalists. I mean, I just love the soaring style of his, and all of the singers of Helloween. I don't know all their names. I'm not going to deny that because there's been like 3 or 4 of them. So there you go. My next power metal favorite vocalist is Hansi Kirsch of Blind Guardian. And again, my other favorite power metal singer. Absolutely fantastic. There you go. Love the vocals, love the melodies, the whole 9 yards. All right, so that was the number 9 list. Number 8 is just one guy. I know, right? I promise not to pull these goofy shenanigans for every group. We got one more that's got kind of a ridiculous number of entrants, but after that, I promise we'll be at a lot less. So this is number 8 is who we're on now. And that, of course, is the Ozman himself, Ozzy Osbourne of Black Sabbath, and, of course, his solo career. And what can I say about Ozzy? It hasn't already been said. No, he's not the most technically gifted singer in the world, but his vocals are very catchy, right? They pump you up. He could be very haunting at times. I think he fits in with the music that he does absolutely perfectly. So there you go. That's my number 8 spot, I believe. So, okay. Now we're going to do my number 7 spot, and it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-way tie. In between, what these guys are, again, these aren't necessarily the most technically gifted singers in the world, but I think they all were extremely unique and brought something new to metal in their own way, and were pretty damn influential. So, first one I'm going to talk about from this group, Max Cavalera, of course, of Sepultura. Next one, Mike Muir of Suicidal Tendencies. The way he delivers the, more rap style vocals and the, his other vocals, all absolutely fantastic. Let's see. Next one, we're going to say Bobby Blitz Ellsworth of Overkill. I hope that makes you happy. Ron, if you're watching this, I think he's absolutely awesome. And again, a rather unique voice that I think has influenced a lot of other guys. Moving on, we've got Burton Bell of Fear Factory. And he didn't make the death metal vocalist list because he does a lot more than just death metal vocals. He does tons and tons of clean singing in Fear Factory and his new project, Ascension of the Watchers. Almost no one does the clean / death metal vocals the way he does. Nobody. So he definitely made this list. Next one up, of course, Steve Souza of, Exodus. I actually prefer him to Paul Bailoff. I know that is maybe blasphemy for some people, but I think he is absolutely awesome and brings a lot to the table. Next one is going to be Serge Tankian, of course, of System of a Down and his solo work. And the reason he made this list is he just does all sorts of crazy shit with his voice that most vocalists never do. Right, just never ever, right? All right, and the next one, the last one in this list, is Phil Ensemble, of course, Pantera, right? Again, he did that really awesome, kind of straddled the line for a few Pantera albums of just like a very traditional almost a power metal type of vocalist with, of course, the harder edge and some of the death stuff. Very innovative on some of the Pantera albums. I thought he absolutely did a great job. I think he does extreme vocals fairly well, but truthfully, I do prefer his older days of, Cowboys from Hell and Vulgar Display rather than his later stuff. But, there you go. Okay, so I think we're on. Let me count here. Sorry, guys. I think this is number 6. And number 6 it's a two-way tie, so that's not so bad, right? We've got John Bush and Joey Belladonna, both most famously of Anthrax. Joey Belladonna only really of Anthrax, but of course John Bush also does Armored Saint. And I appreciate both eras of Anthrax quite a bit. And I think both of those singers bring a lot of greatness to kind of, what they're doing there. So that's why they're both on the list. So let's see. Yeah, okay. Number 5 is the mighty Dio, of course, right? Easy to see why. The guy has incredible vocal chops, huge range, absolutely gigantic, absolutely fantastic, right? Don't know what else to say about him. All right, number 4. He doesn't have quite the range of Dio. I just personally prefer his style a bit more. Just a personal thing. And that is Chuck Billy of Testament. He's got an absolutely he might be the best thrash singer ever, really. And what I mean by that is just the amount of melody that goes into his voices. Much higher than your typical thrash singer, that is for sure, right? He can do some absolutely amazing things vocally, and he does it in an incredible style. So there you go. All right, number 3. I harp on this band a lot, and I harp on this era of this band a lot because I think they're underrated gems, and I just don't hear them talked about that much in the VC. So every time I get a chance to talk about it, I'm going to. And that is Matt Barlow era of Iced Earth, right? Matt Barlow, this is number 3, by the way. He is absolutely just on a whole other level as a singer, right? Like he's got this especially the way it melds with Iced Earth's music. Again, just an incredibly seamless type of, fusion. And the run of albums that they did during the first Matt Barlow era of Iced Earth is just some of the best run of metal albums ever, I would say. So there you go. Okay, number 2 is you guys are going to probably guess maybe, but maybe not. So let's get into it. Number 2 is Warrel Dane. Threw you for a loop there. Of, both obviously his solo work, Sanctuary and Nevermore. The guy he can go really high, extremely high, and he does the mid-range thing incredibly well. He can even go a little low sometimes, so just his range is just out of this world, right? Out of this world. Okay, so before I show my number 1 pick, or reveal it, I'm going to talk about the most notable absence on this list. And that, of course, is King Diamond. The reason he is not on this list simply is, sadly, I don't have any albums where he appears. And I probably wouldn't throw him at the top. I would throw him probably number 7, in with that grouping of number 7. Whereas I do think he is incredibly talented and incredibly awesome. He's just not my personal favorite metal singer, although he is, I guess he would rank in the top 10 somewhere. So that's out of the way. Now I'm going to reveal my number 1 pick. So drum roll, into the surprise of absolutely no one, probably. It is a 2-way tie between Rob Halford and Bruce Dickinson. I know, it's a little bit anticlimactic. Whatever. But I can't pick a favorite between these two. Give me a break, right? These two guys have the best voices in metal, period, right? Almost no one disagrees with me. There's a reason for it. They, I think, both had operatic training, before they started singing in their respective bands. And just what both of these guys can do is just absolutely incredible. And I don't know if we'll ever see any more vocalists like them in metal because, nowadays the big trend is for the more guttural vocals, which I can appreciate. I certainly like death metal and the more guttural vocals, but I would really love to, hear some people at least close to Dickinson and Halford, and I think some have come pretty close. Like, I think World Dane, damn close to as good as they are, and a few others. I think some of the power metal guys, are damn close as well. So it's not like it's no one's even remotely close, but I don't know if we're ever gonna get any artists quite like them just because of the way metal is now and the way the music is and all that. So anyway, that's it. That is my list. Yes, I cheated a whole lot, but damn it, it's my list. I can do whatever I want with it. So anyway, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. As always, live long and prosper. Keep on rocking. I'll see you guys next time.